Hi everyone, and welcome to TSPN TV and our news for today. Over the weekend, we're going to be talking about lighter weight subject today,
Amador County's
but not an unimportant subject, that's for sure. I'm with Terry Sanders, and Terry, you're the Amador County Veteran Service Officer.
Yes, thanks, Tom, for having me.
You've got some good news.
Yes, I do.
Before we get to that, let's save the good news maybe a little bit for
Okay.
the last, because we'll probably wind up talking more about that too. There was some bad news that happened with the last budget bill. Okay, that just passed the Ryan, I believe it was the McCloskey bill, and in it, there was a pay cut for people retired, retired retired people from the military, a pay cut in their COLA. Basically, it was the COLA, a 1% cut in the COLA. And now, in a way, that sounds like it's not much, but when you do the figures, if you say in 20 years' time, so suppose you went in when you were, 18, you got out when it would be like 38, something like that. You did 20 years, put 20 years in, and you're waiting for it to be 60. Actually, the figures they used for 40 to say 60, and I think it kicks in at 62. With that 1%, if you were an E7, comes out to be $80,000. Now, $80,000 is a lot of money missing from your retirement that you could have used more wisely. You want to address that?
Yeah, that is a significant amount. And understand that if this goes through, President Obama's already signed it. It takes effect December of 2015. And basically what it is if all veterans receive a COLA increase of 2.5%, that veteran that's under the age of 62 would only get 1.5% of that increase. So they would be losing out on that 1% increase. And when they reach the age of 62, that COLA decrease goes away. So whatever the COLA increase is for that veteran at that time at the age of 62, they will continue to get. Understand that this does not affect those that are disabled veterans. It only affects retired veterans that have served 20 plus years, and it is a shame that more and more benefits are taken away from veterans in the guise of trying to save money.
We're going to take a break here. We're going to come back. We're going to discuss this a little bit more, and then we'll get on to the more better news, happier news. Okay, so stay with us right here on TSPN. We'll be right back.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.
Hi everyone, Tom Slivick, and I'm back with Terry Sanders, and he's the Amador County Veteran Service Officer. Why did we have a service officer, a veteran service officer in Amador County? Why does every county have one?
Well, it's one of those things that's good to have, and it's because as a county veteran service officer, I'm accredited through the state of California. So I'm the point of contact for county veterans to get in touch with their VA benefits. It's my job to know what is out there for these veterans. And if the veterans depend on that themselves, in many cases they're selling themselves short and they're not getting in touch with the benefits that they've earned.
Okay. Let's go back to the cut in COLA for what they called, I thought it was like interesting. I mean, now we've got a working age military veteran. God, come on, give me a break. I guess that's what the kind of the excuse that they were using. They said, well, if we cut them, they'll probably have another job, and so this cut in COLA isn't really going to necessarily hurt them. But it's a promise broken.
That's right.
A big promise broken to the vet. That's actually to all the servicemen. And I imagine if you were in service today, you would have looked at this and says, my God, I mean, what I thought we had this deal going on, and we're the only people that get cut in this bill. They can borrow money for everything, but they didn't have they couldn't have borrowed what is this? I believe it was $8 billion thing. It might be more. I could be off on that. It's been a week since it's been in the news, and it hasn't been in the news a lot. In fact, I don't think it's been in the news on TV. Have you seen anything?
I haven't seen very much on TV. It's been in the newspapers, the VA papers. They're talking about it, and one of the reasons is Mr. Obama signed the bill, and it doesn't take effect until December of 2014 or 15. I'm sorry, and so a lot of people kind of forget about it. However, it has brought up a lot of conversation amongst veterans organizations, and they are backing Senator Sanders from Vermont to try to get this repealed and or at least changed.
Okay, so there is an attempt to go address the budget bill and to change it and get this COLA back in for the working age
Right.
retired veteran. Okay, what's interesting is when it first came out, that COLA cut was going to be to disabled veterans as well, and you could be a disabled veteran and probably get disabled on your first day of in a way like active service.
Right, but
Right.
they didn't take anything away from the disabled.
Right. So they
veterans.
did put the fix in for that before the budget bill came out,
Correct.
but they only addressed the disabled veteran,
Right.
and that was an interesting split to me as to see as a veteran. But basically, when you get in, and we're talking about veterans organizations. They're important because when you're a GI, you're in uniform and stuff. You can't really address the problems of the military. You could step out of uniform, but then you would just be, maybe one person, a voice, one voice, and
Right, and that's why organizations are important, such as the American Legion or the VFW or the DAV or Military Purple Hearts Association. And it's important that these veterans, as they're getting out of the service, whether they're a retiree or they did 3 years or anywhere in between, that they join these services, because those services have voices on Capitol Hill. They're called the Big Four. They go and they have Senate meetings and stuff like that voice everybody's opinion. Hey, this is wrong. You can't do this. For whatever reason, these broken promises that we continue to suffer through. One of the promises that was broken to me was health care. When I joined in 1983, I was told that I would have health care for the rest of my life free of charge. Well, guess what?
Right.
That ain't true. I retired after 26 years, and that's no longer there. And you count on those things. It's a promise broken. And now the same type of promise is being broken with my retirement of 26 years. Now they're going to talk about withholding 1% of my increase. And yeah, I'm of working age, but I still count on that money because that's money that I've earned through my service to this country, just like every other veteran that retired from the service.
right, and there's other working age retirements, but like if you're a police officer, there's a lot of stress and stuff in there. So that was one of the government jobs. There's probably more, but where you could retire like at 50. And probably at 50 you're going to do something else too. But I don't think I've heard of cities or municipalities coming back and trying to take some of their retirement package away from them. And firefighters are in this stressful kind of a thing, as well as it really doesn't matter. I mean, but almost to be working and wake up every day and have to go there, go to work and do your thing and not do some of the things that you might want to do with your family or this or that. It might not be as stressful. Certainly, I can't think of anything that's more stressful as being an active duty serviceman who's been deployed 2, 3, 4, up to 6 times in these last 10 years or something like that. The possibilities of that. And they go back. Plus, it's a purely volunteer force. So, they're volunteering with, hey, this is the deal we're going to get, this is the package we're going to get, and then, well, I didn't know you could change those.
Yeah, that carrot at the end of the stick that you can never quite reach. And then when you get there, then they take it away from you. I did 9 deployments, so believe me, I know. And 26 years, 9 deployments is a lot of sacrifice, not only for me, but my family.
I think it would be unimaginable back in the 60s where, we had a lot of dissension with the populace about that. But we had a draft, and I don't think you would go, you didn't put 6 tours into Vietnam unless, I don't think it lasted that long. But also, you'd have had to volunteer for that, or in a way,
Right.
or to stay in. If you were drafted and you say, I'm out of here as soon as I can. So it's a lot to ask for
Right.
people to be willing to defend the country, and they're basically defending, the concept of the flag, what our country stands for, the Constitution, if you would. That's what you know.
Right. Well, understand when someone enlists, whether they're even if they're drafted, they are signing a blank check, and that blank check could be payable to the United
Right.
States government, which would include their life.
Right.
And that's why these benefits are so important. Even for the volunteer force, you know, that could cost you your life. And how many thousands of service members have we lost since the Desert Storm, Iraqi freedom, Afghanistan? You know, thousands.
Okay.
You know, so.
Yeah. Well, this was a kind of a strange cut because, you know, already and almost as soon as it happened, people were mounting we need to fix this, we need to
Right.
fix this. And this is truly something that has a lot of bipartisan support. Democrats are certainly on record of saying, well, this is something we need to fix. And the reason why I say that, because this came out of Paul Ryan as a bill, and so it essentially was written by the Republican House and left this mess in there.
Well, we'll see what happens in the months to come.
Okay.
You know, because that's what's
And
going
of course, if you do write your congressman and talk and do things like that, if you're one of the active people like that, chime in and voice in on this and let your opinions be heard. When we come back, we're going to talk about a really neat thing. This, Alan, you want to put that up there? This service card that you're coming up with. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what's new in the county. So stay with us right here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.